Alright, scroll, scroll, scroll all the way down to volume 15 of Creatives, Conventional or Otherwise. Bookworm is good, got some work done today, fenced off the hedge so your puppy can't get through anymore. Oh, that's good. Keep your puppers safe. Power washed about half the terrace, gave some apples to our sheep. That sounds like a lovely Saturday, Bookworm. And a productive Saturday. Alright. You walk with a purpose. You don't really have a purpose, aside from friendship, of course. But you know these streets pretty well by this point, so you can at least strut like you've got one. Alright. We did Charon last time. We're going to do Wanshi Adyata this time, who is... Oh, this is interesting. I'm looking at the book that Wanshi is reading, and there are characters drawn on the front that kind of look like the style of like, well, basically like the MSPA. So like the old like Jailbreak or Problem Sleuth style. That looks interesting. So let's see what's going on here. Hey, now that you've gone and thought about the concept of purpose, you might as well make one up for yourself. You turn your walk around, blah blah blah. You turn your walk toward the book hive. A handful of your friends hangs out in there, and there are a few rooms that are generally pretty danger-free, so why not? Why not, indeed? Ooh, I like this music. This music is kinda chill and slightly eerie. It's like relaxing, but in a bit of a disconcerting way. Not quite sure yet. Music. IDK, man, you name it, I'm tired. By James Roach. That's wonderful. I love that. That is fabulous. I'm gonna bump the volume down a skosh because it is still a bit loud for, even though it's pretty mellow and chill. I should name it. I'm going to name it. What did I say a moment ago? Disconcertingly chill, or like calm but in a terrifying way. I don't know. Disturbingly peaceful. Or peacefully disturbing. I don't know. Anyway. It's a little difficult to make yourself walk past the spookier rooms, but you manage to avoid the siren song of the brain room once more. Your destination tonight is the room you usually watch your teal friends do homework in. It's understandable, after your office experience with Tirona, why this is their neutral meeting ground. Unfortunately, a casual stroll through the stacks uncovers no friends at all. Damn. You consider trying out a higher stakes locale when... Wait! You see a shoe peeking out from one of the bigger hexagonal book hole things. Shelves? It really doesn't maximize space to have shelves shaped like that. Wait, can we see where there's like a shoe poking out here? No, I don't see a shoe. Oh, but I do see like a couple of trolls just sitting at tables here. This is pretty cool. Oh my gosh, I really like the piano there just now. Okay, the piano is... It's giving me like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood vibes, but like in a spooky way. It's like Mr. Rogers' Spooky Neighborhood. And that's it! That's the name of this track that I'm making up. Mr. Rogers' Spooky Neighborhood. That's what I'm calling it. There, canonically, that's the name. Mr. Rogers' Spooky Neighborhood, everyone. Alright. Whatever. If you get caught up in trying to make paltry shit like troll bookshelves make sense, you'll drive yourself to madness before you can figure out if this shoe belongs to someone you know. You walk toward it, and the shoe is revealed on the shoe is revealed to be on the strut pod of a troll whose head is barely peeking out over a book, and nope, a jade, but not one of your friends. Whoever it is curls up smaller in the hexagon, burying her face deeper into the scribble journal of a cullable wiggler. It's not the most inviting posture, to be sure. The polite thing to do would be to keep moving, probably. But you feel a little off about that. You gently nudge your foot into hers, where it still peeks out of the shelf, and ask if she's okay. It'll clear your conscience if nothing else. The book lowers. I'm great. Just going on a journey of the imagination through some classic literature. Music. Mr. Rogers' Spooky Neighborhood by James Roach. Thanks, Heterosapiens. I appreciate that very much. Nothing to see here. Ah, man, it's another kid. You know young trolls have to handle themselves as much as the older ones, but as well acquainted as you are with the facade of pretending you're exactly where you're supposed to be, you get the feeling she's not exactly telling the truth. So, you're equipped to help. Besides, it's not like you haven't befriended a few tween sweep equivalents here on Alternia already. You successfully didn't get murdered by Amnesia, and you did a passable job of befriending Tirona and Caraco. Though, sometimes you wake up shaking, the remnants of dreams where you failed them on loop in your brain, where they... Oh my gosh, this is the... So, yet another suggestion that every path is canonical here. You shake that horror from your mind and try to look as non-threatening as possible. Not that it's particularly hard for you, as you speak. Alright. Let's... save? Alright. Let's ask her if Branya is around. Did she come here with someone? Branya, maybe? You know Jades her age aren't really supposed to be out and about outside of the caverns. Oh, I see. You're a snitch. Wanshi out? Whoa! With that, she tucks her legs up against her and rolls out of the shelf with the agility only youth can manage and takes off between the stacks. You chase after her, but wherever her next hiding spot is must be even better. Eventually, you give up. Oh no, she's last scampering away. Youth roll! Yes! Youth roll! Oh my goodness. Yay for the Homestuck callback. Youth roll. Choom! Alright. Well, we failed to make friends. So let's instead try to succeed. Alright, let's ask her if she's seen the brain room. Nice abscond. You still get the feeling she might need some help, so you ease into it. Maybe she'll open up a bit as you talk. Corn successfully popped! Yay! That's wonderful to hear, non-binary. I'm glad that actually worked out well for you. Wonderful. Okay, so mental note. If you don't have a microwave, you can pop popcorn in a wok. Who knew? Non-binary knew. That's who knew. Give non-binary some credit for their genius. Alright. Maybe she'll open up a bit as you talk. Maybe she'll open up like popcorn in a wok. That doesn't make sense, but it rhymes, so it must be canonical. You tell her this book hive has a huge gallery full of brains and jars if she wants to go check it out. Ooh, what's a brain? I want to see. She unfolds herself from her hiding spot, brushing invisible dust off of her skirt as she stands up. She rocks back on her heels and cocks her head, her locks bouncing against her shoulders. Please don't pop this child. Listen, if the situation calls for it, gonna have to pop this child. I don't know what I mean. I'm Wanshi. Also, I know who you are if you were wondering. I wouldn't go wandering off with that just anyone, quest for brains or not. I may be only 5.5 sweeps, but I'm not stupid. She seems less afraid, but she's still got a nervous edge to her voice, so you try to be a force of calm. A real motherfucking Glade plugin of Zen, stinking up the place with your chill vibes. You walk together toward the atrium, making small talk along the way. You apologize if you made it seem like she didn't look like she belonged here. You're just not used to seeing young Jades outside the caverns. She side-eyes you, like she's weighing the implications of what you just said. Okay, I see there's no use trying to fool you. I may have done a small jailbreak. Oh? Do they not have enough books in the caverns or something? She brushes you off in favor of her own question. Of course we have books. You didn't answer me before. What's a brain? Oh, right. You round the curve of the room and point in the window. Think pans! Oh! On her tiptoes, she peeks into the bottom of the window. I've never seen one up close before. She tries the door handle, but it's still as locked as it always was. She looks at you expectantly. She's like, what, 11 Earth years old if I counted correctly? Yeah, is a sweep an Alternia like 2 Earth years? Because that would be correct. She said she's 5.5 sweeps, so that would check out. Also, I don't know if I properly said good morning to Steiner here. Here's Steiner, everybody. He is being a good boy today. How you doing, Pat? Look at this baby. Look at this baby. Oh, 6 sweeps is 13 years? Okay. So, 5.5 would be... yeah, between 11 and 12 then. Just by that. So, perfect. Alright. She looks at you expectantly. Well, can we go in or what? A surly-eyed guard starts not so subtly watching you, drumming her fingers on the handle of her mace. This must be the guard in question over here. Ah, Globes. You were trying so hard to be cool and approachable that you fucked up and forgot that this room was off limits. Thanks for adding that quote, Hetero. I appreciate that. Sacrificing Nepeta, no! Unbanner, you monster. Alright, we have to sacrifice a dear sweet Nepeta. Crushed to dust. Sacrificing Nepeta to save the child. Oh my goodness. 84 Nepetas have died to bring us this information. Taking a kid to break and enter is, well, it's pretty much par for the course, actually. But it's not what you meant to be doing. Nah, you saw it. Looking only. And now you're done. Great, time to move along. Ugh, lame. Wanshi doesn't pick up on the danger behind her, even with your hurried speech. You change the subject to why she broke out of the caverns, if not for more books, and start walking, hoping she'll follow you. 269. Nice. She doesn't. Oh, she doesn't follow? Oh, I was trying to get to BeastCon. BeastCon? Why, that sounds like a thing that could be fun and or murdery. It's a convention for all kinds of cool stuff, but I want to go for the Soldier Per Beasts meetup. My fanfiction is pretty popular. Wanshi has popular fanfic. That checks out. I have a lot of fans going, and I thought maybe I could make friends with some of them. But I don't know where anything is out here, so I got lost. Excuse me. She takes a breath and a step, finally, but then stops and clasps her hands together. Oh! The guard starts walking. You eyeball the exits all the way down the curved staircase. You could make it, but you can't just leave her here to take the fall. Wanshi keeps talking, oblivious. Lynera is always complaining about how you're everyone's best friend and how you know so much. Do you know where the con is? We could go together. The guard gets closer. You gotta make a decision, and fast. Okay, so let's save here. Oh, whoa! So, we can take her, or pretend to take her. Cello, you've done it! This is your long-awaited time. The time has come. All right, so after I'm done with this episode, we will take a break, and I will in fact sing the Papyrus Pokemon parody that Cello has been saving up for weeks. Oh, that's awesome, non-binary. Alright, so shall we take her or pretend to take her? Let's start with taking her. Let's take her. Anything to get you both out of here. Grabbing her hand, you say you know the way and make a run for the door. She whoops and scurries down the stairs behind you. A quick glance back at the guard taking her hand off her mace reassures you that you've moved fast enough. Once you're around the corner from the book hive, you stop and catch your breath. Why stop now? Lead the way, alien friend. You wave her enthusiasm off. She's out of breath herself. She can hold her hoof beasts for a minute while you locate your fucking bearings and think. Wait. Hold on a sec. You wave her enthusiasm off. She's out of breath. She can hold her hoof beast for a minute while you locate your fucking bearings and think. Wait. While you get your... I don't know why the word fucking is in there, other than it's just fun to say, I guess. Fucking. You looked to this con up earlier when Tagiri and Polypa invited you. Of course Tagiri and Polypa would invite us to a thing like that. They sound like the kind of people who enjoy that thing. They said it was fun, that the low death toll was high enough to be interesting, low enough to be manageable, and that you'd be safe with them. Still, you'd chickened out. You guess changing your mind and going could be okay? You're definitely anxious about bringing Wanshi along, but it seems like she's hell-bent on attending anyway, so maybe the best thing you can do is be a responsible chaperone. Plus, none of your friends make you feel better protected than Polypa. Gorgle Map says it's not far. Well, you've dealt with plenty of dangerous clusterfucks before, so what's one more? You're a regular Giles Corey of bullshit scenarios. Pile those sumbitches on. I don't know who Giles Corey is, actually. I gotta look this up, in fact. Who is Giles Corey? Giles Corey is an American farmer. Born in 1611, died in 1692. An English-born American farmer, this is the Wikipedia article on Giles Corey, not something I thought I'd be doing today, looking up Giles Corey on Wikipedia, was an English-born American farmer who was accused of witchcraft along with his wife Martha Corey during the Salem witch trials. After being arrested, Corey refused to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. He was subjected to pressing in an effort to force him to plead, the only example of such a sanction in American history, and died after 3 days of this torture. Oh my goodness. Welp. Oh, so that's what they mean of pile them on, because of the pressing, my god. Oh, good lord. No, don't drown me, please. Terraform the entire North American continent with hydrates. No! Oh god. You bow as you gesture down the sidewalk that will lead you toward the outskirts of town. Wanshi curtsies and follows your direction. It seems like she doesn't need you to come up with things to talk about. She's like a chatty sunflower, pulled toward the bright newness of everything she sees, and chock full of commentary about all of it. Wow, I've read all about moonlight, duh, but seeing it make everything glow is totally different. Yeah, the biggest badass in history. Indeed, Bookworm. Look at the dew on this prickle frond. If you get up close and look, you can see the reflection of your own eye and the moon's. You do as she does, and damn if that ain't a bunch of orbs reflected back at you, floating on the curve of a purpley green meniscus. Her curiosity isn't overwhelming or draining in the slightest. You tell her it's kind of nice, actually, to meet someone else who is experiencing this place for the first time. Yeah, the caverns are fine, but there's so much to see out here. Everyone else sneaks out. I don't know why it took me... Everyone else sneaks out. I don't know why it took me so long to try. No, actually, I do. Getting in trouble sucks and I hate it. But it worked out. Here we are, experiencing it all together. Yeah, you can feel your anxiety lifting, just a little. Just the part that's applicable to this particular situation. Still, that's a win. Walking and talking and taking in the night makes time pass quickly. You ask her how she ended up in the book hive to begin with. I snuck out when Lynera was supposed to be giving me some boring jade duty lesson. But with yelling. I don't have a palm husk, so I couldn't look up the con once I was away from my husk top. I just wandered till I gave up and found the book hive. That's a powerful nerd homing beacon she must have. Hey Seth, how's it going? Happy Saturday, welcome in. Wanshi flexes. You know it! You smell what's around the corner before you see it. Having sidestepped your fair share of corpses in your travels, and had your hand in creating a few more, you know how to prepare yourself. Wanshi, on the other hand, you know the brooding caverns aren't some diaper baby summer camp of innocence, but you're also not sure how much viscera she may or may not have seen. No matter your respective levels of gore viewing experience, you both stop short when it comes into view. Whoa! He takes a tentative step toward what's left of the troll, and then retreats, hovering close to you. It feels like you should keep moving, like you should avert your eyes and carry on, or whatever the fuck before the drones come by to clean up, but she's still staring. Her steps, when she finally takes them, are soft. She crouches down and leans in with reverent scrutiny. It looks different not in a jar. You wonder to yourself, as Wanshi shakily takes it all in, if bloodthirstiness is a trait only certain trolls are born with, or if they have it ground into them by necessity, by expectation, by entitlement, by fear. Next, because your brain is wired around itself, you wonder the same about humans. Wanshi doesn't look away for a while. You go over and put your hand on her shoulder, and she stands up and walks away with you. There is no ceremony to it, no placing of leaves over the remains, no prayer. I don't get... She doesn't finish her sentence. She takes your hand and pulls you back in the direction you were walking. She looks confused, like she's still trying to work out what she just saw. You guess you could have given her more time to process it, but you're not sure comprehending death is really a thing that you can just, figure out in the wilderness with an alien one night. After a few minutes of silence, you point out the call of some flat beast, and she mimics it and smiles. Soon after, the pointy-topped tents of the Khan rise over the horizon. Wanshi starts running, dragging you behind her. Is this a spoiler for the last seaside of Celeste? I don't know, Cello, but this is kind of some heavy stuff we're getting into right here. Oh shit, here we come! She's vibrating out of her skin. You're basically doing the same, though it's less an excitement thing and more an emotional whiplash thing. Whatever, you can work with that. Yeah, there kind of is some emotional whiplash happening right here in this moment. We went from thinking about the nature of death and dying, and the nature of troll kind and humanity, and whether we are naturally, have a natural proclivity for bloodlust, or whether it's a learned thing. That's one moment. And then the next moment, we're at the con with a bunch of nerds! Yeah! Emotional whiplash. You attempt to dig into the new vibe as you walk up to the gates. There are vendors and artists and trolls all around. Thank you, Non-Burnery. Need I remind you that this is the Christian broadcast Hiveswap? Speaking of bloodlust, yes, thank you, Non-Burnery. It's like some unholy combination of Anime Con and Renaissance Fair, but with more people walking around sporting recently inflicted limps. Oh my goodness. In an attempt not to focus on that, you look around for your other friends and ask her what she's excited to see and do here before her meetup starts. Does she want snacks? It looks like there are snacks. Yeah, I could want some frazzled Sakura and fluff candy in a bit. But yeah, there's a lot to do. Whoa! There's the collar bear thing. Oh, so there's the collar bear riding, the cosplay competition, you cut her off. Doesn't she mean cosplay? There are trolls you think might be in cosplay, or maybe that's just like how some trolls dress. Yeah, there's that too, if you don't want to get your claws too bloody. Ah, geez, there's the old nerves coming back. You really hope that bringing her here was okay. There are other young trolls roaming around, so you're probably good. You try not to think of the body you saw as an omen. There are bodies all over the place here on Alternia. You pull out your palm husk and consider your friends. You could message Polypa or Tagiri to see where they're at, but your thumb gravitates toward Branya's gripe profile. Cosplay does seem more accurate, yes. Right when you decide you're being dumb and pocket your phone, a lot happens at once. Wanshi starts to pull you toward a dude in a utila kilt handing out flyers, a bowel-rending sound rends well your bowels, and then a massive armored bear with huge beefy biceps hurtles through the grounds, hollering and grinding tents and congoers alike into bent splintered pulp. Okay, hold on, what the heck? Let's scroll back for a sec, and then let's see what happens in the background here. Yep, that was definitely a massive bloody bear. Perhaps some lucis of some kind. Just one body? Yeah, seems safe enough. Indeed, indeed. Wanshi stares, frozen, as the beast rampages toward you both. Oh no! She whimpers and looks at you, comprehension and fear etched into her features. Bear! That's right, non-bearnery. Wow, there is so many different colors of blood here. You did this. You brought her here. You let this happen to her. And she knows it. You picture 100 outcomes. 1,000,000. You want to work toward the end you see where you save everyone who hasn't already gotten squished, are elected to Grand Human, and no one ever gets fucking trampled again. But there's no time for that one. Instead, you pick up Wanshi, give her a quick hug, and throw her into the closest bush. With what's left of your adrenaline-filled noodle-arm strength, you reach for the handle of a katana from a vendor's rack and hope to fuck it's not only for display. You've never felt less prepared to take something on in your life. You've never felt more sure you had to. In the end, it's no choice at all. The beast charges you, teeth bared and rainbow bloody. You hold your position, pinky and ring finger tight near the bottom of the handle like Tagiri taught you. When it leaps at you, tackling you to the ground, you bury the blade into its chest. The collar bear lays on top of you, the last of its life twitching out of it as it presses your life out of your lungs in return. Through your darkening vision, and under the furry dead weight pinning you to the ground, you see her. From the edge of the woods, eyes wide and watery with understanding, Wanshi picks herself up. Oh. Oh my gosh. So in this ending, we sacrifice ourselves to save Wanshi. That was pretty badass. Also, I really appreciate how the narration toward the end of this path, like, again, belies an increasing awareness of the fact that there are indeed, like, multiple, like, timelines and endings, and that MSPA is completely aware of all of them. We got the bear ending! Yay! Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. Alright, so this time instead of taking her, let's pretend to take her. You've heard of the con she's talking about. You were thinking of going with Tagiri and Polypa anyway, but the list of activities seemed a little too dangerous, honestly. These past few months, you've been up to your ass in close calls, and you'd quite frankly like to cut back on them, including, you know, the one your ass is currently embroiled in. You make some non-committal noises as you work out how to tell her. Wanshi crosses her arms and leans back against the brain room door, which the guard really does not like, if her increased speed and mace brandishment is any indication. Okay, yeah, you say, let's go right now. Your hype is contagious, even though you're completely faking it. She claps and bounds behind you down the stairs. A quick tug at her wrist pulls her out of the mace's trajectory as the guard chucks it at you from above. It thuds mightily against the wall by the door, and you both make it outside unbloodied. Checking behind you to confirm you're not being followed, you don't stop running till you're both safely around the corner. Wanshi giggles through catching her breath. Wow, that was a close one. Librarians, am I right? She grins and takes your hands. Can you believe we only just met and already we're having bonding hijinks? I didn't think making a friend would be so simple. I can't wait to hang out even more at the con. Wait, we're already friends. Now, she's saying we're friends. Can't we just, like, stop here and just call this the end of the path? Like, it seems so simple. Ah, her smile is a knife in your pusher. She's so excited about your budding friendship, and here you are, gutlessly hiding the fact that you have no intention of taking her from one dangerous situation to another. Oh, so that's interesting. We're kind of, like, not interested in being friends with this one? Which is kind of a change from the beginning of our adventures, where we were, like, desperate for friendship with anyone, and now we're being, like, a little more picky choosy. I don't know. Probably because we have friends now, so. Not quite welcome to Night Vale level of librarian deadliness, but still quite deadly. Yes. Maybe you would have agreed if you were in a braver mood, but you just don't know if you're up for more life or death babysitting adventures right now. What you should do, probably, is get her home. You don't tell her any of this, of course. Instead, you agree and then check Gorgle maps. The con is down the road to the left. The caverns are to the right. Leading her straight back home would be too obvious, so you take a meandering route. Everything you pass seems to impress her. The frankly bonkers range of architecture styles, the shivery carnivorous plants, the burned out wreckage of someone's hive, and the flickering starlight all around. She's observing a worm crossing the sidewalk. Out here exposed, all squishy and brave, oh, when you point out a cool rock, eager to keep her wonderment going. Really? She puts a hand on her cocked hip. You think we don't have rocks in the caverns? Try harder. She rolls her eyes at you, but she's still grinning. You accept the challenge and tell her there's something she's definitely never seen up ahead. Bring it! You lead the way. It's been a hot minute since you've been back over here. You're interested to see it again. Oh, what are we talking about? Still, this side jaunt feels like delaying the inevitable. You know she's going to be pissed at you when she realizes you tricked her, but you can't help wanting to show off more cool stuff while you can. Anything to see that wide-eyed appreciation for any tiny new thing. Let's see, hold on a sec. What's left of your spaceship comes into view as you round... Excuse me. What's left of your spaceship comes into view as you round the bend. There really isn't that much left to show off, but Wanshi is still into it. She runs over and starts inspecting the rubble. You wonder what happened to the freshly missing parts. Maybe Vicari has come back to scavenge some more. Shit. Vicari. You haven't talked to that guy in forever. You vow to text him later tonight, but you still feel guilty. It's hard to juggle all these beautiful friends, even with how viscerally you crave them. You want to be good for everyone, but there are so many things that can mean, and you've never stopped feeling like you're treading water. Wanshi emerges from the hull, clambering up on top of a black metal box and waving around some inscrutable rusty bullshit. Oh, there are so many fiddly little parts! This was how you got here? She observes you for a second or two, then nods her approval. That's pretty cool! Any old idiot can wreck a spaceship. It takes someone with brains to break out of the brooding caverns. Well, when you put it that way, you're completely right. She winks and pockets some of the pieces. Are you ready to keep moving? I don't want to miss the meetup, and it's happening right after a horse-a-roni jousting, which should be ending pretty soon. You're not sure what to tell her. For some reason, Vicari won't leave your mind. Your sorry ass hasn't managed to keep up with all the friends you did earn. Maybe it's for the best that you're deciding to take her home. Her safety is more important than her liking you. You sigh and start to fess up. Even if she left here now, you're far enough away from the con grounds that she'd miss it. You were afraid. Afraid to go, afraid she'd run off if you didn't stick with her, afraid of not knowing what to do next. You what? You made me miss my one chance to do something fun for a change? Just because you're too much of a scaredy purr-beast to go to a fun nerd party? It wasn't just that. You also wanted to keep her safe, to take her home. She stomps her foot in frustration, tears forming in the corners of her eyes. Why do you think you can just make decisions for other people? Why don't you go home if that's so great? Your mouth shuts, words gone. She follows your gaze back to the wreck of your only shot out and winces. I didn't mean... I know you can't. I just wanted... She sits down in the grass, defeated. You sit too, a ginger distance away. No, her anger is fair. God, this sucks. You hadn't meant to deprive someone of a small joy here on this bitch of an Alternia. Yeah, it's the worst. She sighs and runs her claws along the tops of the spiny purple grass. After a few minutes of silence, she speaks. Too late to do anything about it now. I'm still super angry with you. But I'm glad you were here. I'm glad you were honest, I guess. Even if it took you too long. I'm not used to people being straight with me. I feel like the older everyone gets, the more they lie. Or at least the more annoying it is that they don't expect you to notice when they're lying. Not that I can super tell how old you are. Your alien physiology is a little inscrutable, but, you know, more or less. Your palm husk buzzes, interrupting your train of thought. You both look at your two new texts. Are you sure you still don't want to join? Things are beginning to get interesting over here, and you may have the privilege of seeing me at my peak performance if you come by. Stay put, there's a collar burr on the loose. I don't want you on the already very long casualty list. You do a quick gurgle and holy shit! Social media is already on fire with the news of a con attraction getting free and mangling attendees left and right. Who could have seen this coming? The familiar ghostly feeling of a near miss shivers down your back. Whoa! Her eyebrows pull together as she works through the images she's seeing on the screen, and what it could have meant for her. She's still a little teary from before. Would you agree that the plot of this friendsim seems to be ruled by the many-world interpretation of quantum physics? Only the protagonist somehow prevents wave function collapse and somehow lives in multiple divergent parallel universes all at once. More or less Heterosapiens. I feel like that's kind of been going that way for a few volumes now. Like I forget the episode where that kind of really first became apparent to me. Like they were hinting at it, I think, throughout several episodes, but it was... which one was it? I believe it was Boulder in Volume 13, where that started to become like more they started to become more explicit about it. But they were also kind of like more subtly hinting at that like several episodes prior, so just want to throw some hard physics into the chat. By all means, do that. I may not know exactly everything you're talking about, but I think I understand at least the gist of what you're saying. But yeah, I think it seems like what they have arrived at, or what they are like they're like kind of getting to the station of, is the fact that there are multiple timelines happening and the protagonist is aware, if not simultaneously living all of them. So that's interesting, and I really wonder where they're gonna end up going with this. And we're only a few volumes away from the end, so we're gonna find out in the next few weeks, I do believe. Anyway, her eyebrows pull together as she works through the images she's seeing on the screen and what it could have meant for her. She's still a little teary from before. I guess... thanks? Not that you did it on purpose. Oh, didn't we? Didn't we? But I guess maybe it worked out okay. I do love not being trampled. But it still sucks that I didn't get to go make friends. You don't want to be too presumptuous, especially after all that. But maybe this day might still be salvageable, new acquaintance-wise. Wanshi blinks back her disappointment and puts on an attempt at a smile. Maybe. Might as well see. What was she gonna do with her new friends? Maybe on your way back to the caverns, you guys could talk about soldier purbeasts, or scary horse jousting, or whatever else you wanted to do there. She stands up and crosses her arms, looking you over, her smile turning real. You think you've got what it takes to roleplay? You stand up too. You're super cool with roleplay. You've basically been doing that since you landed. So what's the deal again? You ask as you start walking her home. Magic cats? Warrior cats? Or perhaps thunder cats? Magic? What are you, some kind of wiggler? No, there's no magic in soldier purbeasts. She rolls her eyes at you and then hunches her shoulders, claws spread, eyes darting from bush to bush along the sidewalk ahead of you. Unless you mean the power of your own wits, the sorcery of all your senses aligning at once as you get ready to pounce, the hypnotic spell-like rhythm of your own pusher beating in time with your praise. She straightens up and grins. That kind of stuff. Whoa. Anyway, it's really fun. Let's play. She's bounced back so fully, you get the feeling that not many people indulge her in this. It reminds you of your younger self, and your heart crunches up a bit. Fuck yeah, let's play! You mean heck. Heck yeah. Don't patronize me. Fuck yeah. Wanshi giggles. Fuck yeah! Okay, so little lost you can... Okay, so little lost you can be from the space cast. Wait, what is it saying? Okay, so little lost you can be from the space cast? I don't understand that sentence. Anyway, let's call you Twinklepaw. I'll be Wild Wisp from the Solar Glare clan. Ooh. She clearly seems to think you should be impressed or intimidated by this, but you don't really know what's going on. So you nod. Twinklepaw. Got it. So you'll stumble upon me while I'm taking down a nut creature, scaring it away with your incompetence. Sound good? She peppers her walk with skips, talking up a veritable storm of world building. Her voice gets low and rumbly when she quits setting the scene and gets into character. Little one, what do you think you're doing, setting Strutpaw in our territory? You've made me lose my creature feast. What do you have to say for yourself? Ah, fuck, it's your turn. You didn't see where you were going. You're sorry, though. You know how hard it is to come by a good meal. Fool! You think me so poor a tracker that I am hurt by such a loss? I can find another. I find offense only in that you clearly do not respect the bond between hunter and hunted. You blunder in and interrupt the sacred rhythm of my fangs, its neck, or its claws, my face. Now neither of us can know who would have prevailed. Ah, geez, you're still, really sorry about your strut paws. You're constantly sticking those into other people's sacred dances. Maybe there's some more nut guys over there. Wanshi stops walking and gives you a withering look. Is that really the best you can do? No, you'll try again. How dare this purbeast accuse you of such a thing? Your intentions are as noble as the wild pusher that thumps in your, bone cabinet. Wanshi bounces, hands and fists grinning. Whoa! A little over the top and not really a StarCast approach, but you're getting there. You practice finding your soldier's characterization sweet spot as you walk her home. You take the most direct route, but you let her stop to explain purbeast grooming habits, to breathe in the rotting perfume of a flower, and to appreciate yet another sidewalk-braving worm. Eventually, you reach the cave entrance you know. And standing under its eave is Lynera, a very pissed-looking Lynera, who is at 5 knives, oh god, which isn't, your favorite mode for that particular friend. Where have you been? I said I'd be right back. Not, hey, go run off and leave me to make excuses for you. I forget the voice I did for Lynera, so if it's different from last time, I apologize. A little bit. Well, I'm back now, so you can get over it. I know you won't tattle. You don't want Bronya to know you lost track of me. Watch yourself! Lynera glares fireballs at her, and then turns to you, softening the tiniest of bits. Thank you for bringing the short one back. Do you want to come in? You appreciate her politeness, but nah, you should go and let the jade settle down and everything. Plus, you have another friend you need to check up on. Before you can say anything to Wanshi about how you hope she ended up having an okay time, she scurries off around the corner, calling back over her shoulder. Wait, I have something I want to give you before you go! So, you wait. Lynera keeps looking at you, arms still crossed. You better be glad she's okay. If she got hurt, I could never... I would be in so much trouble! You don't have to call her on secretly caring, because Wanshi comes running back with something in her hands, her hair bounding behind her. Here! Read this, and then maybe when you come back to visit me, you'll be, a little more informed about the Soldier Purbeast universe. I only have one person to play with here, and he usually pretends he's too cool, like he doesn't absolutely love Purbeast cast drama. She bows a little as she offers the book to you. It is tattered. With love. It's my personal copy, but I think I can trust you with it. Twinkle Paw. What do you say? You clutch it to your chest and tell her you will guard it with all the honor and spitfire Starcast has to its hallowed name. We just made another friend. Victory! Bomb. Oh man, yay! We're best book buddies with Wanshi. We did it. Yay!